I'm 32, and 3 weeks ago I believed my life was settled. Not perfect, not some fairy tale romance, but solid, built, earned. The kind of life you construct brick by brick, believing each one is permanent. Daniel Wright, 4 years. That's not nothing. 4 years of Sunday grocery runs and Thursday takeout. 4 years of arguments about nothing that dissolved into laughter because neither of us could stay angry. 4 years of building something I thought was real. We met at a birthday party, one of those gatherings where everyone clutches plastic cups and pretends they don't care who's watching. He wasn't flashy, wasn't loud. He was the kind of man you notice later and wonder how you almost missed him. Calm, observant, quietly confident. Within 6 months, we were inseparable. He moved into my apartment. We stopped having dates and started having routines, and I told myself that was growth. That was maturity. That was love settling into something sustainable. Last December, during a weekend trip to the mountains, he proposed, snow crunching under our feet, cold air turning our breath to ghosts, his hands trembling, just slightly, when he opened the ring box. I said yes, without hesitation. We set the date for October. I told myself I was lucky. The cracks didn't come as explosions. They came as comments. Daniel had always been close with his college friends, especially Lauren, his ex-girlfriend. At first, I didn't think much of it. They'd dated years ago. They'd broken up. Adults could be friends. I believed that. I still do. But her name started appearing more often. Lauren thinks the Ivory invitations look cheap. Lauren said we should push the honeymoon to later. Lauren asked if you were okay with outdoor seating. It was strange, not because he mentioned her, but because he deferred to her, like her opinion carried weight mine didn't, like she had veto power over our wedding. Still, I told myself I was being sensitive. Weddings make people weird, right? Stress magnifies nonsense. Then came the engagement party. Daniel's parents hosted it at their house. Nothing extravagant, about 40 people. Family, friends, the people who would soon sit on either side of us at the ceremony. Lauren came. She was polished in a way that felt deliberate, confident, standing just a little too close to Daniel, touching his arm when she spoke, laughing a beat too long at his jokes. I noticed everything. I was in the kitchen grabbing ice when I heard my name. I wasn't trying to listen, but voices carry when people think they're safe. Stable, Daniel said. Good job. Responsible. Checks all the boxes. Lauren laughed, softly, like they were sharing a private joke. But you know how it is. It's nice to know there are options. My hands froze around the bag of ice. Lauren's voice dropped lower. I barely caught it. So if things don't work out? You're right there, like a safety net. Something inside me went very quiet. I stood there longer than I should have, holding melting ice, feeling like I had stepped outside my own body. When I finally walked back into the room, I smiled. I laughed. I played the role. That night, I lay beside him, staring at the ceiling, replaying the words. Options. Safety net? The next morning I asked, casually, like someone who hadn't already fallen off a cliff, "You and Lauren seem close lately. Everything okay?" He barely looked up from his phone. "Yeah? Why?" "Just noticing." He rolled his eyes. "You're not jealous, are you? She's my ex, ancient history." I nodded, but I started paying attention. The texts he smiled at and locked away, the extra effort before meeting her with friends, the way he spoke about her opinions like they mattered more than mine. 2 weeks later, we had our final venue walkthrough. The coordinator was explaining seating arrangements. Daniel was on his phone, smiling. "Daniel." "What?" "She's asking about the head table." "Whatever you think." In the parking lot, something in me snapped. Not loudly, but cleanly. "Who are you texting?" "Lauren. She had a question." I took a breath. "Daniel, what's really going on?" He looked at me, and for the first time, I didn't see guilt. I saw calculation. He laughed, light, airy. You're being paranoid. He left, light, airy. You're being paranoid. Look, relationships are complicated. It's smart to have contingencies. I stared at him. If you mess up, I have a backup. The world didn't explode. It just rearranged itself. All right? His smile faltered. What? Bring her. Let's see how solid your options really are. That night, I didn't sleep. Daniel rolled over beside me like nothing had happened, one arm heavy across my waist, breathing slow and even. I lay awake, staring at the ceiling fan, counting rotations like they were seconds ticking down to something inevitable. In the morning, he acted normal, too normal. Made coffee, asked if I wanted eggs, kissed my cheek before leaving for work, like the night before hadn't split something inside me. That's when I realized something uncomfortable. To Daniel, what he said wasn't cruel. It was logical. That afternoon, I texted him, "We need to talk tonight." "You're still on that? I thought we moved past it." We hadn't moved past anything. He'd stepped over it. Big difference. That evening, we sat across from each other, the same table where we'd planned vacations, debated paint colors, laughed over cheap wine. I want clarity, no jokes, no deflection. He leaned back, arms crossed. Fine. Are you emotionally involved with Lauren? Scoff. No. Are you keeping her close as an alternative? He hesitated just a second too long. I wouldn't phrase it like that, but yes, she's an option. There it was. Undeniable. And you thought telling me this was acceptable? I thought you'd appreciate honesty. Honesty without empathy is just cruelty dressed up as virtue. You're being dramatic. Dramatic. The word used by people who want to shut down a conversation without engaging in it. I'm about to marry you, and you're telling me there's someone waiting in the wings. Natalie, listen, I chose you. I proposed to you. Doesn't that matter? It matters less when you keep reminding me I'm replaceable. That's not what this is. Then what is it? It's motivation. People get complacent. Knowing there are consequences keeps things sharp. You're saying the fear of abandonment should keep me obedient? That's not what I said. It's exactly what you said. Lauren would marry me tomorrow. You don't have to worry about her unless you give me a reason. That sentence changed everything. Not because it hurt, though it did, but because it clarified. This wasn't insecurity. This wasn't confusion. This was leverage. All right, let's be practical. His eyes narrowed. What are you doing? You believe in options, in contingencies, so let's stop pretending. I stood up. If Lauren is your backup plan, let's bring her into the open. He laughed, nervously. You're joking. I'm not. Don't be ridiculous. You want honesty, transparency? Invite her to the rehearsal dinner. That's not appropriate. Neither is keeping a backup fiancé while planning vows. She's not a backup fiancé. You said she'd marry you tomorrow. He opened his mouth, closed it. For the first time since this started, Daniel looked uncertain. You're trying to start drama. No, I'm ending it. That week crawled by. Daniel alternated between pretending nothing was wrong and accusing me of sabotaging our future. I let him talk. I listened. And quietly, without asking permission, I made my decision. 2 days before the rehearsal dinner, while he was in the shower, I unlocked his phone. Lauren's contact was right there. Hey, we'd love for you to come to the rehearsal dinner Friday night. It's an important night. I locked the phone, placed it back exactly where it had been. Daniel never mentioned it, which told me everything. Friday arrived with an eerie calm. Daniel and I barely spoke that day, not because we were fighting, but because he'd decided silence was safer than honesty. The rehearsal dinner was at an Italian restaurant his parents loved. Warm lighting, brick walls, soft music that tried too hard to make people feel comfortable. 50 guests, family, friends, people who believed they were here to rehearse a beginning. Daniel arrived.
greeting people with practiced charm, playing the role perfectly, smiling, laughing, touching my lower back possessively when someone congratulated us. I watched him like a stranger. Then the door opened. She hesitated just inside the entrance, scanning the room like someone checking whether they were in the right place. When her eyes found Daniel, they lit up. Surprise first, then pleasure. His face drained of color. For a split second, something raw crossed his expression. Fear, then anger, then control snapped back into place. He pulled me aside near the restrooms. What the hell is she doing here? You said she was important. This isn't funny. I'm not laughing. You're embarrassing me. No, I'm giving you what you asked for. Transparency. Dinner passed in fragments. Conversations I didn't hear. Food I barely tasted.